Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here in my shop at the house, if you want to call it that. I call it a very confined space, but whatever, you know. This is more like what everybody else I have at home. And we are working on my 2004, I believe, Jeep TJ. It has been wrecked in the front end, so we had to collect a bunch of parts. You've probably already seen that. However, my plan and hope, we know how that goes, is to get it mostly put back together today, or for you guys at minimum in this video. So we got the snow apocalypse coming in as of the recording of this, so I'm going to get to stay home and not go anywhere until next week, which is fine with me. But I'll show you all the parts we've collected. I am missing like the water pump, so I won't be able to start it in this video, I don't think. But I've got everything else. It doesn't all color match, but you know, when you're on a budget and you're doing what you got to do, you know, that's kind of how it goes. The color of a fender is not going to affect the drivability of said Jeep. One more thing. I gave $2,500 for my Jeep and Matt's Jeep. Drove all the way to Louisiana and got them. Matt's is a body and a frame, so we're saying we gave $500 for it. So just purchasing the vehicle does have a clean title. I'm $2,000 was my starting point on said Jeep. It is a 4.0. It is an automatic. I've got, I think after the little trip we made to the junkyard today, about another $1,000 in it. So I'm going to be about, if all these parts fit and work and I don't find any surprises, I'll be about $3,000 into this Jeep before I buy tires. So it's hard to find one on Marketplace like that even. So that being said, let me show you what we got. We collected a hood with some color stuff going on there, but eventually we'll put vents in there and that'll fix it. Got a front drive shaft lingering around. There's my blue fender. Picked me up a power steering pump, a windshield washer bottle, the little plate right there that goes on the driver's side to stiffen up the brackets for the fender. I have both of my steering shafts. I got a hood hinge or hood latch right there. That is a power steering bracket. I got the coolant overflow there. We managed to get a green. I know it's dark. Sorry, my garage don't have great lighting. We got a green core support. I'm robbing Matt's headlight buckets and bezels because he's gonna only ever run his off-road, so he don't need them. I do. That's how we're working. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. All right, back here we got our fan shroud, and we got an airbag. We got the cruise control and evap canister system. There's a new steering wheel, another airbag for the passenger side, brake booster and distribution block, and not distribution block, proportioning valve, my bad. We just did electrical stuff the other day. And the cover for said airbag, and then I scored this Mishimoto radiator while we was out at the junkyard. So looks like a lot, but a lot of it is just big parts. and they're gonna just kind of fall in. Oh, I also got a windshield arm because I broke the locking tab because it's been 20 years since I pulled one of them off and I didn't know how. And, you know, I figure break it, get it off, and then you can figure out how it goes, how it should have come off. That way when you take the other one off, it comes off right. And it did. It worked. So, all right, I'm going to get you guys set up. I got my nephew Chris with me today, since we're here at the house, and we're going to start figuring out where we're going to get started, and we're going to get this done. All right, guys, so we're starting assembly, and we're going to do the smart thing, I think, and we're going to put on all the stuff that's going to be a pain in the butt to get to when we have the fender on and the core support on. So we're going to put all that stuff on now while it's easy. Hopefully this doesn't bite us in the butt later. So I think what we're going to do is, Chris, you want to come get the power steering pump? All right. It's going to go right here. And there's a little brackety loop that we're going to have to put on. And I think it goes right here. But I got to take a look at this power steering pump because it just had something drip out of it and I don't know what it was. Okay, so on the TJ, there is a little bracket right here. It goes in on the two lower power steering pump bolts, and then the bracket goes right there on the bell housing, or not on the bell housing but on the motor. So we're going to get our 3 bolts in and then we'll come back. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change out this shaft here. We're going to remove this bolt, or this nut, and the one just like it right here. They're 10 millimeter. This will pop out and we can pop the new one in. So we're going to let Chris do that. And just like at the junkyard, he lost a piece. Alright guys, so we're going back together. It'd help if I could quit losing lights. I'm on my second one of the project already. But we got the new shaft on. I know it don't really look any different, but there's the old one laying over there with the broken weld right here. Right there above that bolt. So we got the new one in. He's getting the bolts or the nuts started back on it. As you can see, yep. Alright, now we'll put the bolts back in that bracket and we'll go from there. I am not entirely sure what's next, but we'll figure it out. Alright guys, took a little finagling. I had to negotiate with that terrorist of a bolt, but I do not condone negotiating with terrorists, just FYI. Anyhow, it's all in, everything turns as it should, so yay. Power steering pump is on, the lines are on, it's all snug and tight. We put our little fender, I don't know what actually goes there, but it braces up the braces for the inner fender, and so yeah, that's on and tight. I think we're getting to where it's about time to install some big stuff, but I want to look around and double check before I do that, because again, I want to do all the things that are going to be hard to get to with that fender on done now. That way I don't have to do them later. So let me take a quick peek around, and if not, I think, oh no, we're going to do the master cylinder and the proportioning valve next. That's what we're going to do. That's going to be easy to get to right there. Now we're taking off the master cylinder, which is two 13, well, yeah, it's going to be 13 millimeter bolts. Once my help figures out how to use the ratchet, comes out just like that. Then we're going to reach in here. We're going to get the brand new one, well, new to us, that hopefully works, and it's going to go in, but we got to take these brake lines off first. So let me set you down so I can do that, and then we'll show you putting it back in. Should just line it up on that shaft in there. There you go. Alright, now all you do is put your bolts back on and should be good to go. Nothing to it. Hook up any brake lines you need to hook up. Alright guys, let me get a little bit of light. So that was bolt number 1, bolt number 2 over there. We got all 3 of our brake lines back there and the 2 over here. So in theory, minus hooking up that electrical connector right there, I think that's ABS. I'm not entirely sure, but we got the plug. It's dangling around here somewhere. Other than that though, we're ready to put brake fluid in it, and then we'll get to bleeding all the brakes and stuff at some other point. But from the looks of it, we ain't gonna finish this today anyway. Alright guys, we had to take a siesta. We were both getting frustrated. Time to take a little break, so we took us a break. Now we're ready to, well, I'm ready to do big things. You ready to do big things? Okay, you don't look like it. He took a nap. I watched Fab Rats. So, you know. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this driver's fender on. And it's pretty easy. You have 4 bolts right there. Got 4 more right here. They're on your inner fender. And then you got 4 when you put your 3 or 4 when you put your core support on. But we're not worried about them just yet. So we're going to set you up over here and kind of let you see what we're doing and get a fender on and be one step closer to driving this thing down the road. So we got a blue fender with a super silver fender flare that we're going to put up here. All right, hang on. There we go. Something's gonna have to be adjusted. I don't know what it is. Oh, I may have to kick it. All right, guys, let's look and see. What are we hitting on? That plate we put on earlier, we're gonna go ahead and take it back off. We may or may not have done the wrong order of operations. I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see if that helped us anywhere on our fitment. A little bit. A little bit. We'll whack it with a hammer till it fits, because we don't care. No, we'll get it right. So, okay. We got that. It's on there. Ish. Oh, that was bright. I think what we might do next is set in the core support. So for that, sits up here, got a body mount bushing. We'll see if we can find a place to put you so you can see what's going on and not be in the way. I don't have a purse one, but I got a hand one. So we're trying to get the bolt holes lined up. I don't know what he's doing. Do you got threads in it?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Then, alright guys, so you seen how we set it up there. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to help him get these bolts lined up. And then we'll show you how we're going to massage the other side to get it to fit. You can see right here, these are my holes. They are not lining up. They need to go further in. So I'm going to get Chris to move this jack out of his way. I'm going to put him under there. And I'm going to bend this fender by hand until they fit. So now we got the evap canister, the cruise control, I believe. So now all we got to do is mount this up here. It's pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. The biggest thing is figuring out the orientation for your year model, but then all your bolt holes are going to just kind of fall in place. Other than that, it's pretty dang easy. But because I know you guys like to see me do dumb things, there we go. It's on like Donkey Kong. Now there's all kinds of stuff that I've got absolutely no friggin' clue where it goes. That goes on the firewall somewhere. Alright, for the most part, it's in. It's got to be hooked up. I got to trace where things go and all that because I've got no clue. I may have to wait until I can get Rusty over here with his Jeep and I can verify it. But I'm going to throw a bolt in right here. And I think that's going to do it for this part. What time is it? Well, it's getting almost dinner time. So we may stop for the night. We may just throw the hood up here just to see what it looks like. Let me get a bolt in it. And I think we're going to put the hood on it. I want to see what it looks like with the hood on. I'm excited. So give me just a minute. Alright guys. It has been several days since I said we was going to test fit the hood. We ran into an issue. And I got frustrated, so I quit. And then we got here in the south, we got hit with the snow apocalypse. It was like, well, where I'm at, we got 6 inches of snow maybe. And on day 2, we got maybe 1/4 inch of ice, if that. From growing up in Missouri where we don't really get snow, we get ice. And if you're from Missouri, you know. And living for 10 years in Colorado where 6 inches of snow is a light dusting, I'm like, I don't get it. But we've made it through. Didn't have to really rescue anyone on my end or anything like that. I do have to take my niece to college tomorrow because evidently they've decided to open. That being said, we did get the hood on. There she is. That's what she's going to look like. I mean, she's going to have headlights and stuff too, but... Or he. I don't know yet. Ugly hood. I don't know who did this, but I'm going to put a vent on there. The hood does not go on perfectly. Hood's from a salvage yard. The Jeep was in a wreck. So, some things don't line up. Like over here, I got a nice thin gap. Oh, sorry, I don't think I showed you that. Right here, I got a nice thin gap like I should, or more or less. Over here we've gotten it better. But before I could stick all my, I could stick up to my middle knuckle right here under it. Had to whack on it with a hammer a little bit. But in the end, it will be a rock crawler. Right now, I'm just trying to get it to where it's drivable. And I can focus on doing body work on a hood that I don't care about. And fenders I don't care about because I'm going to do flat fenders eventually. Like I said, I'm going to cut out a big chunk of the hood for the vents, because as we all know, TJs like to overheat. And if I do get that hair at some point and put the 4.7 stroker out of Fenrir in it, then I'll need more cooling anyway. That all being said, we're going to find some other stuff to put on. Even if I have to take it off again later because of needing room. I don't know. I'm tired of just sitting here doing nothing. And with the snow apocalypse, parts are delayed 4 or 5 days probably. So I'm not getting my water pumped anytime soon. So we're going to just do what we can do. And if I got to take something back apart later, I will. So let me get you set up. And we're going to go ahead and put the radiator and the fan shroud in. Alright guys, I think you can see where we're at. So we're going to get Chris to get the, Okay, so we got Chris getting the radiator. I got some bolts. And we're going to see what we can do. I'm also noticing stuff while I'm looking. Alright. There we go, boys and girls. Radiator's in. I got the fan shroud over here, but I gotta find some bolts, so let me find them and then we'll come back to you. Alrighty guys. Found me some bolts. Got me a fan shroud here. So we're going to see if we can make it work. Should sit something like that. Now I know for sure this is gonna have to come back off, but we're gonna mock it up anyway because we can. All right, let's see what else we got. We got anything else we can put on here? Oh, look what I found. We're gonna do all kinds of stuff just to make us feel good. Have to use WD-40 since I don't have my Kimball Midwest here. I need to buy some for the shop here. But considering I normally work out at the other shop. Oh, buddy. Would you just look at it? Look at that. Woohoo! Boys and girls, we looking good. Yep, we're going to take off the overflow hose that they had on here. Because this thing's like 8 miles long. There we go. Look at this. And I got to go like 8 inches. Now, to be fair, this was in a CJ7, I think. Might have to do a little modifying. The overflow bottle's a little close to this. Oh yeah. It hits that pulley. We're gonna have to do something with this radiator, fan, shroud. I don't know, I'll figure it out later. But it looks good right now. I think I'm gonna try and see if I can get the air box up in here. See how that fits. like I said, we're just putting stuff on to put it on for right this second, so let me go grab it right quick. This is the fender supposedly it come off of. That's how she sits. You gotta find some nuts for it though. Are y'all okay? Alright, let me find some nuts and then I'll get you remounted. Nuts for this. I heard you. Y'all get your mind out of the gutter. Well, it looks like it's gonna go. I lost a bolt already. That didn't take long. I'm good at that. So mine are, oh, there it is. These are 8mm. There's 3 of them, if you can get them in the holes. All right, it's in. Alright guys, I think that's about all we're going to get done this time. I've got, like I said, I've got parts I'm waiting on. I've got parts I still need to get. But made huge progress. Quick recap of everything we've gotten done. Motor mounts, exhaust, manifold put on and hooked up. We got the body mounts changed over from that stupid 3-inch body lift down to normal mounts for now. We may have to do a 1-inch lift, body lift later. Excuse me. Depending on some other things we might do. What else we get? We got the new master cylinder in. We got the new proportioning valve in. We got the evap canister and cruise control area. We got power steering on. We got the radiator and the fan shroud mocked up, and the upper radiator hose mocked up because we're awesome like that. We got the air box in. I need a filter, whatever. Oh, we also changed the oil filter and put in new oil. We put on the oil pan and new gasket, so that's all, you know, a-okay. Got the hood on, got the hood hinge, all the pieces to this hood put on. I did all that off camera. I'd show you, but it's up by the light and I don't want to blind you any more than I already have. But I got the prop rod, the latch, and the spring on. Also got the windshield washer squirter thingy on. I'm sure I'm missing some stuff that we did. We've actually done quite a bit. I'm pretty happy with it. I got to get Rusty over here so I can take a look at his Jeep and see about some wiring, because I really don't want to have to buy the book, or if he's already bought it, maybe I can look at his and figure it out. Also got to talk to Matt. He knows from taking his apart some of the things and where they went that I'm not entirely sure about. But long story shorter, because I've been rambling, we're making good progress. We're a water pump and draining the fuel tank from seeing if it'll fire up and if we've got a good motor or not. Hopefully we do. So all that being said, that's it for me. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all next week.